welcome back to Vitality's Happy Half Term. But if you are just joining us, we've got loads of things to keep you healthy, to keep you happy and keep you busy this week. And there are also some great prize draws and giveaways that we've got as well. So make sure you tag us in, use the hashtag Vitality Half Term. We want to see pictures of your activities and what you've been up to this week.
Hello everyone and welcome to day 7 of the Vitality Half-Term series. My name is Jamie and I'm one of the Vitality coaches. If this is your first time joining one of our sessions this week, then welcome. If you're a regular attendee though, which I hope you are by now, then welcome back. So this week we've been kind of taking part in a whole variety of activities. And with it being Sunday, we thought it would be a good idea to maybe do something a little bit more relaxing, but also quite creative at the same time. So the theme for today's session is arts and crafts. And of course, we'll be adding a little Valentine's twist, given it is a special occasion as well. So make sure you get involved in the comments. Make sure that you send through your pictures, make sure that you hashtag Vitality Half Term and enter into our competition as well. We'll be keeping an eye out of those on Facebook and Instagram. And throughout this session as well, I'll make sure I bring up any questions or comments that you have too. So please do get involved with this and we'll hopefully just have a little bit of fun. So all you will need for today's session is just a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil and any equipment in colouring equipment that you'd like. I'm no expert in this field though, so what I am going to do is, thankfully we are joined by a couple of guests today who are going to lead us through this session. So we have Emma and Tiffany who will be taking us through the session. So I'm going to bring these two up on screen now. How are you guys doing?
Hi, really good, thank you.
How are you?
Good stuff, all good, thank you. So thankfully you guys are the artists, the experts in this field. Do you want to just give a quick intro to yourselves?
Yeah, sure. I'm Emma. I'm a professional artist and I work with Brush and Bubbles, which Tiffany is the founder of. And do you want to say a little bit about Brush and Bubbles?
Yeah, Brush and Bubbles, we just offer lots of step-by-step painting tutorials. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be joining in with pens and pencils. So it doesn't matter what you've got at home. If you've got pens and pencils, if you've got paints, Emma's going to be showing you in paints and I'm going to be using colouring pencils. So we're going to create a lovely painting today. Do you want to show what we're creating, Emma?
Yes, we're going to be painting Stanley the sausage dog, and I've got a few options, so we're going to break it down nice and easy how to paint a dog. So you can do a nice little landscape and we can add little flowers and hearts if you want to, or we can keep it nice and simple and you can choose your favorite color and just do a really nice bright background. It's easier than it looks, I promise. We're going to make it
I was going to say, if mine looks anything like that, you two are the best artists I've ever met, because no one's ever made it look like that. But it looks really cool. So hopefully, no matter if it looks good or bad, I'm sure we just want to encourage people to take part today. But as well as Tiffany and Emma, we obviously need to extend the invite to the wider Vitality family. So after his starring role that you might have seen earlier this week with Olympic legend Daley Thompson, we're welcoming back Elliot and his brother Angus this time to get involved today. So how you guys doing? Are you good? Give us a thumbs up. There you go, they are good. Elliot, quick question for you, because I know we both were kind of taken through it a little bit on Wednesday. Give me a thumbs up if you've recovered after that session. You're good? Good man. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad that you've recovered, because I'm not sure that I have. Maybe physically, but possibly not psychologically. So we'll catch up with those two a little bit later on. But that's enough from me. I'm going to pass over to the experts now and take who's going to take this one. And they're going to obviously make sure again that you add in your comments and they'll be answering any questions live. So we'll catch up at the end. But for now, I'm going to hand over to you, Emma and Tiffany, and I'll see you in a bit.
Great,
Thank you.
So, hi everyone. Don't worry if you don't think you're very good at painting or drawing, or you've not done it very much, or you just don't really know where to start. We're going to go really slowly. We're going to do it all step by step, and we're just going to have a nice time. We're going to draw or paint this really adorable dog, and it's all about having fun and giving it a go. So just relax, and if you want to do something different or you want to kind of take this as a theme but go off piece with it and have a bit of fun, add anything else, then you're more than welcome. It's just a chance to be creative and try something new. So I am going to do it in paint. So if you have paint, feel free to copy along and do what I do. If not, don't worry. If you've got a pencil, you can draw it out. If you've got colouring pencils, then you can colour it in. But it's applicable to all sorts of things. Tiffany's going to do it in colouring pencils, so every so often she can show you how she's getting on with that as well. So what I've got is a palette here. You can use a plate or an old saucer and just pop some paints. I'm using acrylic paint, but you can use other types of watercolour if you like as well. If you haven't got paints with you, you can always draw it out now, come back and watch this video later and do some paint if you feel like you want to. So I've just put some colours out, just some colours, and I'll talk you through which ones I'm using. I have got some brushes and I've got some different sizes. The small pointy ones are really good for little details, but then a bigger one for kind of doing the background and things like that. I've got a pencil for drawing, and I've got some spare paints if I need a bit more. I've got an old jam jar with some water to clean my brush as well, and a tissue kitchen roll to wipe that off. Tiff, what have you got? What are your materials?
I've just got an array of colouring pencils, and I've just got some paper, so I'm just going to be drawing it straight on there.
Perfect. Yep, you can use paper. I've got a little canvas. If you happen to have a canvas, you can do it like that as well. A canvas is just some fabric on a wooden structure. And then you can pop it on the wall, but paper works fine as well. So what we're going to do to start with is take our pencils and we're going to draw out the dog. So I'll just show you a little close up. I've done that. I quite like doing a side-on angle of the dog because you can really see the shapes and it's a little bit easier. So instead of being a bit scared if you're thinking, oh gosh, I can't draw a dog, just really look at it. You can look at a photo, you can look at this one, and we're going to really think about the shape of the dog. So for a moment, just forget it's a dog because that sounds a bit scary to do. And what we're actually going to do is just look at the shapes. So I'm going to start with the body. And the sausage dog is a very long body. So I'm going to draw a long oval shape, but it kind of like dips up a bit for the tummy. So I'm going to start by doing that. I'm going to do it in the middle of my canvas or your paper. And I'm just going to draw a long sausage shape. It's a bit like a really long kidney bean shape. I will show you. Like that. And then it's just going to go up a little bit. And then down. Like that. So this is just the very basic body shape. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
So we're just focusing on shapes. Don't worry about making it look like a dog yet. We're just breaking it down into chunks. So I've done my long sausage shape. And now I'm going to draw the head. So they haven't got a really long neck, so it's not going to be too far above, but just a little bit. Now I'm going to just draw a circle, kind of looking at this with X-ray vision and thinking, what are the shapes under that? What's the structure? So I'm just going to draw a circle for the head at this end of the sausage dog because I want mine to be facing this way. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a circle here. Above. I'll show you that. Just drawing a little circle above my sausage body shape. And then they've got quite long noses, as you can see, Stanley here. Long nose. So again, just breaking it down into shapes. And I'm just going to draw that nose coming there. Okay. Long nose coming out of the circle for the head. And then we just want to join these up so he's got more of a smooth neck shape like that. And I'm just going to draw a curve from his chin, joining up to his chest. And the neck the other side as well. Okay. Tiff, how are you getting on? Is that making sense so far?
It's making sense. It's very basic so far, if you can see that.
Looking good, yeah. Looking good. How are you boys getting on at home? Are you good?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yay.
Okay. What we're also going to do is just mark out where the ear would go. So the ear doesn't really stick out of the head. It's more kind of within the body. So you see here? So we're just going to draw kind of like a rounded triangle down like that. It can stick out a little bit, or it can just be inside the head. So just marking it out, just plotting where that ear might go. And then little tiny legs. I'm just going to do 2 legs because it's side on. I'm not going to worry about trying to fit all 4 on. It's going to be a standing still sausage dog. So I'm going to just draw a little tiny leg just in from the end here. Little, kind of like a tree trunk going down, and little feet going forward. And they're really short, these legs, for this type of dog. So a little front leg like that. And then you can do the same type of leg at the back, or you can do it, sometimes they have this sort of, got more of a bend to it. It's like a bit like an elbow, if you see what I mean. So you can do that if you want it to be a bit more detailed, or if that's a bit much, just do one of those, that will still look good. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a little bend to the leg and just keep it roughly the same length as the other one. You don't want a really, really long back leg compared to the front leg. Okay, so we're not going to worry about the tail for now if you're doing paint, just because it will be quite fiddly to go around, and we can do it above. If you're doing pen or paper, it might be worth drawing the tail. If you're doing pencil, it might be worth drawing the tail now. So just a little long thin tail coming out the end. But I'm just going to leave that for now because it's going to be a bit too fiddly because I'm painting. So everyone happy with the dog? Do you want me to repeat any of the drawing stages? You got your basic shape. Don't worry if it doesn't look perfect yet. We're just sort of plotting it out for now. That will be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so for the background, you can be quite creative with this. You can do it quite detailed, and we can do a nice little landscape with some sky and some clouds and some grass, or you can add trees or whatever. Or if you think, actually, I'd like to spend most of my time focusing on the details of the dog, you might choose to do like a solid colour background. So it's really up to you what you'd like to do. Also depends on what colours you've got at home. If you've got lots of colours, you might want to do more of a landscape. If you've got just a few pencils, it might be easier to do like a solid background. You can even do stripes or a pattern or whatever you like. But I'm going to show you how to do this one. But as I say, if you want to kind of go with a nice vibrant coloured background, then you can. If you want to make a pink, just red and white together, if you're mixing your colours, you can go with that. And we're just going to fill in all around the dog. Okay, so if you're painting, you want a slightly bigger brush, and what I'm going to do is start with the sky. So I'm going to mix blue and white, and you want quite a lot of white in comparison to the blue, just because it's a much lighter paint colour, so you need a bit more of it, otherwise it's going to be quite a dark sky. So mix up your paint, blue and white together, until you're happy with a nice bright sky colour. Or pick up your blue colour pencils or felt tips or anything you've got. If you're using paint, a good little tip is to just dip your brush in the water and mix a little bit of that in. It'll just make the paint go a bit further and go on a bit smoother. Okay, and then I'm going to start at the top and start painting. So isn't it scary, the first mark you make on the canvas or your paper? So it's quite like a big step to do, but just go for it. It'll be fine, I promise. So start colouring in, start painting your background. You can hear lots of good pencil noises. And for the sky, I'm going to go down to kind of halfway down the body of the dog, because we don't want him floating in the sky. So we'll leave room for the grass as well. And when you get up to the drawing, just be quite careful, and you can always swap to a smaller brush if you need to go around the detail. What colour?
I'm going for a nice blue sky. A nice sunny day for Stanley the dog to have a walk.
Not very blue skies where I am today. Is it sunny where you are?
No, it's pretty grey actually.
Yeah, same.
Look at the blue skies in the painting instead.
Yeah.
Oh, Amelia, age 7, she loves dogs. We love dogs too, Amelia.
I love dogs too. Do you have a favourite type of dog?
What do I like? I actually like Labradors. I think they're so cuddly and friendly.
Yeah.
I think they're great. What about you?
I do really like sausage dogs, actually. They are one of my favourites. Or
They are really cute.
spaniels, they're really cute. Hi, Isla. So yeah, I'm just pulling my Sky about halfway down the body, just so that we make sure his feet are firmly on the ground. How are you doing, Angus and Elliot? Are you all right?
Can we see what you've done so far? Can you hold them up? Oh, brilliant. There's clouds in the sky as well. They look amazing. Awesome. Well done, guys.
So don't forget.
Hello, Ali, George and Paul. Hi, everyone.
Hope you're having a good time.
This is looking lovely, Emma.
Oh, good. You can mix the colours up as well. Don't feel like you've got to follow exactly what I'm doing. It's just about being creative and giving it a go, really. So just follow as closely as you like. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay, my paint is about that far down, and now I'm going to make a green colour. So, do you know how to make green? Does anyone know how to mix green?
Tell us, Emma. How do you make green?
Blue and yellow and white to make it a bit brighter as well. Okay, so blue, yellow, and white. Sometimes when you get paints, it's already pre-mixed for you, which is handy as well. So you can always use their green as well. But otherwise, if you need to make it, it's blue and yellow and white.
And I'm just going to go for a green felt pen.
Perfect. So you can start colouring in from the bottom now, right the way up to where it meets the sky. You can either do a straight line, or you can do kind of like lots of little vertical lines to look like blades of grass.
Perfect. Phoebe's favourite dog is a golden retriever. They are pretty beautiful, those doggies.
They are lovely. You can use these techniques to draw any dog, really. So obviously a sausage dog is quite characteristic with the long body, but you could always do a shorter body and longer legs to do different breeds of dogs. So feel free to do a whole range of dogs. You could have a whole collection. So I'm just using my grass.
It's very relaxing, isn't it? Very calming.
Yeah, focus on something, but just sort of be quite creative, and yeah, it is very relaxing. Nice way to spend a Sunday as well.
Yeah. Isabella says she likes labs too, but she's more of a cat person. Oh, I do love cats as well.
Yeah.
You love a little cute little cat. Do you have a dog, Emma?
I have a dog.
You have a dog. What dog do you have?
Yeah, one's a Springer Spaniel and one is a Cocker Spaniel.
Oh, cute. What are they called?
They're called Poppy and Biscuit.
Poppy and Biscuit? That's so sweet. Molly's a Cocker Spaniels. We have two, so she's biased. Excellent.
They're quite lively, aren't they? They've got lots of energy. Right, so do your grass right up to the sky. You don't want to leave a gap, so go right up, up to where they meet. Are you more of a cat person or a dog person, do you think?
Well, I'm actually allergic to cats, unfortunately, but I do love them as well. But yeah, so I probably have to say dog.
Yeah.
But I do love cats. I love all the animals. We used to have hamsters when I was little. That was my favourite pet.
Your hamster queen.
Hamster queen.
Oh. Okay, if you want to add some detail to your grass, take a smaller brush or a pencil, obviously would work as well, and I'm just going to draw some little lines where the sky meets the grass, like this. Just for the little blades of grass against the sky. You go all the way along that line. Okay?
Perfect. And Ali's dog looks like a duck. How can she correct it? Emma, any tips for Ali?
So really just focus on the size of the shapes in relation to each other. So make sure your head's not too big. It's hard to tell without seeing, but just I wouldn't worry too much. As soon as we start painting it, I'm sure it'll, or colouring it in, I'm sure it will look more dog-like. Once we've got the ears, and you can do little fur texture as well, that might help. But just sort of remove your brain from thinking it's an animal, and just really break down the shapes. Look at a photo maybe, and just look at the shapes and the size of each body part. But I'm sure it's looking great.
I like ducks as well. So Ali, if you're enjoying your duck shape, make it into a duck.
Yeah, if it looks like a duck, just say it was meant to look like a duck.
Okay.
So once you've done your grass all the way along, we're going to move on to the dog. So what we can do, if we have time at the end, we can come back and add some more texture to the grass, and we can add some flowers if we want to. But I think what we'll do now is just move on, do the dog, and then we can see how much time and how much detail we want to add later. So I'm just going to leave my brush in the water for now and take a medium-sized brush. What we're going to do to start with, you can see how sausage dogs have two different colours. So one's kind of like a pale orangey brown colour, and one is like a black for most of it. So we're going to start with the lighter colour. It's always easier to start with the lighter colour and work your way darker rather than the other way around, because it's quite hard to cover a dark colour with a light colour. Okay, so we're going to make an orangey brown colour. So you can just take orange or red and some yellow and mix it up, and then we're going to add a really tiny bit of blue, and that's going to just turn it slightly brown. Don't add too much blue because it goes a funny colour quite quickly, so just go quite cautiously with the blue. So red and yellow, or orange if you've already got it, plus a tiny bit of blue to turn it a bit brown. If you have a brown or an orange pencil, that's perfect. Use one of those, or a felt tip pen, or whatever it is you're using. And we're going to start just colouring in the dog wherever there's like a brownie section. So let me show you this again. So it's mainly going to be this chest bit here, the face, and a little bit on the tail and the legs. Okay, so we can start colouring it in. So orange or brown or orangey brown, somewhere around there. Doesn't need to be exact.
I'm actually going for a yellow pencil, so like a yellowy brown.
Is it looking good?
It's looking okay. It's coming together.
Can't wait to see it. And how are you boys getting on at home? How's it going? Yeah?
Yay, thumbs up. All the thumbs. Excellent.
So don't worry too much about the exact shapes. All dogs have different markings, so it doesn't need to be exact. I'm just going to fill in the face now. I'm going right up to the ear. Okay, so where we drew the ear, I'm going to bring that orange right up to the ear. Doing the little leg.
Ali's dog is looking much better. Yay! The duck has gone. The dog is back in town.
Great, Ali, well done. I'm going to just draw in the tail now. So if you haven't already done your tail, I'm going to do that now. So little trick, whenever you've got a brush that's got a thin end, don't press too hard. If you press really hard, all the bristles on your brush, they spread out and you get a really thick line. If you press really lightly and hardly touch it at all, just really, really gently, all the bristles stay really tightly together and you get a really thin line. So that's a good way of getting some detail in your painting.
That's a good tip.
If it ever goes kind of scratchy and like bobbly texture as well, it means you've not got enough paint on your brush. So add a tiny bit of water, mix it in, and really get loads of paint on your brush, but then press really lightly. It's kind of a balancing act of having enough paint, but not making it too thick and blobby. So lots of paint on your brush, twiddle it to a nice point, and then press really lightly. And then we're going to get a really nice thin tail. Like that. Yeah, little wagging tail. Right, so that's the only bit we're going to do orange. The rest we're going to do black. So going over the back and the little head. So got my black paint or a black pen or even just a pencil. You could use a normal pencil for this. Give your brush a wash if you're painting. Dry it off on the tissue so it's not too wet. And then we're going to do the same again, black paint on my brush this time, and I'm going to start colouring in the rest of the body in black. And don't forget, if you're doing another dog breed, either now or next time, just think about the patterns and the shapes and the colours of the dog, and it'll, a Dalmatian, for example, will automatically look like a Dalmatian as soon as you start doing the classic spots. So it's really quite a versatile way of doing all sorts of different breeds. Just really break it down, focus on the shapes, focus on the colours, and yeah, kind of forget it's a dog almost, and just really focus at what you can see, not what your brain thinks is there, just what you can actually see, and helps to break it down, I think, in your mind. How are you finding the colour pencils? Is it working well?
Yeah, good. I've actually also decided to use a black felt tip pen just to go around the outline of the dog, just so he stands out more.
That's a great idea. Is it really vibrant?
Yeah. Hopefully. It's quite nice with the pencils as well, because you can create like a fur texture with the lines.
That's a good point. If you make sure you're doing your strokes of the pencil roughly the way you think the fur would be going, then it will make the fur look like you can it's the right way. Imagine how you would stroke a dog, and that's your pencil strokes should go.
I might put a bit of mud on my dog. So he's been playing in the park. Muddy feet.
So when it comes to the ear as well, just make sure you're doing that black, and because it's against the orange, it'll hopefully stand out and actually look like an ear, because the orange is behind, and then you've got that sharp triangle shape, rounded triangle for the ear. It's really going to stand out. Okay, and when you get to where the orange and the brown are meeting, just sort of kind of blend together a bit, or just sort of go up to it. It doesn't need to be kind of perfect. I've just done mine sort of merging slowly into it like that. I'm going to do a little black bit on the leg as well, just a bit of shading, make it stand out. But as I say, each sausage dog and each dog has different markings anyway, so they're not all going to be the same. Okay. We're going to do a little black eye as well. So if you've got like this still a bit of orange on your face, you can do the black kind of overlapping that bit so it stands out. If it's already black, take a little bit of white paint or go over it like that. If you've already done different colours, you can just pick a colour that you think will stand out. Even if you're doing it in pencil and you've got a tiny bit of white paint, you could always do a little blob with that. But I'm going to do mine on the orange section of the face there, like that. And I'm going to do a black blob sticking out at the end of his nose as well for his nose. Like that, easy.
Cute.
And I'm going to just add a little bit of black to the tail. Make that stand out a bit more as well. And then with my tiny brush, I'm also going to do a little black smile. So if you've got colouring pencils or a pencil, just do that with your pencil as well. At the bottom, so under his nose, I'm just going to do a little smile. Because he's a happy dog. Just going on a little bit of white to make his eye stand out as well. So a little twinkle in his eye. And a little shine in his nose. I've done a little bit. Okay. If you're struggling to make his ear stand out, you can make a little grey if you're doing it in paint. Or take a grey pencil and just sort of add a little bit of shading. To one side of the ear like that. So it's kind of like the light.
Cute.
And you can always, if you want kind of to go extra with your shading, you can just add a little bit of shading, kind of imagine where his shoulders would be on his legs. So kind of go up into the body like that. But you don't need to do that. It's kind of like a little neck. And I say you can add little fur, kind of push a bit harder with your pencil if you need to add a new definition or little bits of shading if you're doing with pencil. Is that working for you, Tiffany?
Yeah, that's good. I'm just switching now between pens and pencils.
Oh, nice. Mixed media piece. That's what
Mixed media, yeah.
So add little bits of shading, and then you can always go back now to the grass and add different darker green or lighter green, kind of the how you've done the fur texture. You can do it with, make it look like blades of grass as well. So you can use a darker green. You can add flowers if you want to. You can add little hearts if you really want it more Valentine's-y, and have little hearts in the sky. You can add a little collar. So this is kind of like the basic sort of painting, and now it's really time to personalize it a bit. So you can add a collar. I'm going to do a little bright pink collar with a little heart on it for Valentine's Day. You can do little flowers. You can do a sun in the sky if you want to. Kind of make it your own, really. What are you going to add to yours, Tiff? Have you decided?
I'm adding flowers, I think, to the grass around. He's in a very flowery, lovely park. It's definitely summertime.
Is it? Oh, good.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I might add a collar as well. I'm going to do that now.
I'm just adding a little collar. So I've taken bright pink, and I'm just doing a little line coming like from behind his ear.
Yeah.
And I'm going to draw a little tag, but the tag's going to be a heart because it's Valentine's Day.
Cute.
So little tip as well, if you're wanting to do flowers, a good way of drawing a flower is picking a colour and doing either a dot to start with, so a little dot, little circle, and then picking another colour and doing little circles all in a circle around for each petal. So you can start by just doing a few dots.
So you're going for pink flowers?
I'm doing pink centres to the flowers.
Lovely.
And then I do white.
Nice.
But any colour you want, really. You could do that, whatever colours you have with your pencils, or if you want to have a play around with mixing up some different paint colours, you can give it a go. Pink, as I say, is red and white mixed together. You could do orange by mixing red and yellow together. You can make green, different greens with blues and yellows. I'm just now drawing little circles around my circle for the little petals. You could go really off peak here and do whatever you like. You could do a little bird in the sky. You could do a dinosaur coming in. You could do a rocket in the sky. You can really put your own touch on it. Whatever you think would go well, or whatever would suit your own style. You can have clouds in the sky if you want to. Just have fun with it, really. Play around until you're happy. My main advice for drawing anything, really, is just forgetting what it is temporarily, breaking it down in your mind, almost like X-ray vision, until you've sort of worked out what are the basic shapes, what are the basic colours, which is the darkest bit, which is the lightest bit, and just really kind of breaking it down into little steps to make it more manageable. Because it's a bit scary if someone says just draw a dog and you think, oh, where do I start? But actually, you can do it. You can just break it down. Let us know if you've got any questions. We're nearly finished now, so if you've got any questions you want us to try and answer.
I want to know how Ali's dog is looking.
Oh yeah, how's that dog? Slash duck. Not a duck anymore, I hear. Okay, so there we go. I've got little flowers in mine.
Oops.
Got my paper. You can add little clouds in the sky. You can add little hearts. So I'm going to add a couple of hearts in the sky, and then I think we're finished. So, are there any last questions, or how are you getting on, Tiff? Have you got any questions?
Yeah, I'm nearly done. I'm going to add some just last few hearts in the sky. I've made my sky quite a dark blue, so I'm going for some darker blue hearts in the sky. So it's a bit abstract now.
That's fine.
Okay, I'm happy with that. How about you boys? Are you adding anything into the sky? Should we have a look what you've got? Oh, that looks great.
Oh, I love it.
I like the tree. That's such a good idea. Let's see yours. Oh, wow, fantastic.
Well done.
Yes, they look amazing. Need to name them now. Well, actually, they're all Stanley, aren't they? It's very cute.
Stanley's done a very good job of modelling here, I think.
Yeah.
You guys, I don't know about everyone else, but I feel so chilled out right now. I was just a little bit lost there. I think some of those pictures are looking really good, Tiff, but I know that we haven't had a proper look at yours yet. So are you going to do the big reveal?
Okay, here we go.
Look at that.
I did flowers and everything. Yeah, he's got a bit abstract, but I'm liking it.
It's kind of the evening sky.
Yeah.
Evening.
I like the fact that you didn't give it away though, because I didn't know what to expect, but it wasn't that. But as expected, it is obviously really good. So hopefully everyone is still getting creative there. Angus and Elliot, I know looking at you both, you've been engrossed for the last half an hour or so. So give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed that. Nice one. Looking good as well there with him just chilling on your shoulder, Angus. So I think that that's probably enough from me so far today. But just again, back to you two. Emma, you mentioned earlier that you were a professional artist. So if people are inspired by your work, is there anywhere that you want to direct them?
Oh yeah, so I paint. I do lots of dog portraits, so I often paint people's dogs, or I do a lot of seascapes and landscapes as well. My name's Emma Christopherson, so you can find me on Instagram, Emma Christopherson Art, or my website is the same name as well if anyone wants to have a look.
Cool.
I'd love to see.
Yeah, please do make sure you use those hashtags so we can have a look after the event. And obviously, Tiff, for a lot of people, half term is just starting. So if they want to do a little bit more arts and crafts throughout the week, is there anywhere that we can go to find that?
Yeah, definitely. So on our YouTube channel, so it's just youtube.com/Brush and Bubbles UK. But if you just look up Brush and Bubbles, we've got loads of tutorials on our website, and for all ages as well. We've recently started doing kids ones, so we've had kids as young as 2 joining in at home with their paints, which has been great. So yeah, lots of choice there if you want to join in with it.
Kids as young as 2, adults as old as 28. I've been into it.
It's about being and having a nice time.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to show my picture, so I'll move on really, really quickly. But thank you once again for joining us today. Everyone watching, we hope you've enjoyed just a little bit of time to relax and get creative. It's good to mix things up a little bit, I think. So make sure whatever it is that you're doing, you enjoy the rest of your Sunday ahead of another big week. We'll be back tomorrow, where we'll be joined by Rugby World Cup winning legend Johnny Wilkinson for a rugby themed workout. So I'm definitely going to go and rest up for the rest of the day. That'll be on at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow. So in the meantime, make sure that you look after yourselves, take care. Hopefully we'll catch up tomorrow, and if we can, just get a little wave. Angus and Elliot, those guys are looking good as well. Thank you both for your time, and we'll hopefully see you again soon.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Bye.